Hi, my name is Misty Ann Harrison, and I'm doing a speech on hemolytic uremic syndrome. I'm not going to sit here and just give you a bunch of information so that you are bored and so it doesn't stick. I really want you to listen to what I'm saying because this matters to me and it's very important, especially if you have children in your family. Just picture this. I'm going to paint a picture for you by telling you about a situation. You have a little boy, 20 months old. You bring him to the fair. You do not let him touch the animals. You just take family pictures sitting on the hay. You see that there is no running water there. So you go to use a hand sanitizer and it's completely out. So you know that you have to put something on your child's hands even though he didn't touch any animals. So you go and reach into your diaper bag and you pull out your hand sanitizer and use it on your child. You buckle them in the seat in the car and you drive home. Everything's fine. The next morning, your child has a runny nose. And it's clear. No fever, nothing else, no coughing, just a runny nose. The next day, your child has diarrhea. And then it becomes bloody and explosive. Comes out like water. The child is irritable. No fever at this point. But you know something's going on with your child. So you call your doctor. Your doctor says your child has a stomach bug. So you keep them home and you hydrate them like the doctor tells you to do. Soon after, within hours of talking to your doctor, your child gets a fever. And then they start saying, ouch, and grabbing their stomach. And they're really tired. They're laying around, they're not doing much. You bring them to the doctor. They say, your child has a stomach bug. You know something's wrong. You think there's more wrong with your child. They keep sending you home. Finally, you've had enough. You bring them to the hospital. You get all these tests done. They don't know what's wrong. Within 8 hours of them being at the hospital, they finally decide to do a stool culture on your child because the vomiting, the diarrhea, the fever, it's nonstop. The child is at this point laying in the bed, very, very miserable. They screw up the stool specimen. They don't know what happened to it. They know they sent it to the lab, but they don't know what happened to it. So the next day they do another one. This time it comes back with Shigella toxin. At this point, you're upset. All this has happened. Your child's getting worse. Now he no longer can walk. He's just laying in the bed crying in pain with IVs, fluids going into him. He's crying, he's irritable, and your heart is breaking. The following day, your child starts to have seizures. Meanwhile, he's put on dialysis because his kidneys are not working right. The seizures at first are short, but they go away quickly. Then your child has a seizure that's almost an hour long, and they end up being brain dead. Your child is 20 months old, never been sick before a day in their life. No one knows what happened. This is what happened to a little boy that was in my family. This is hemolytic uremic syndrome. Those are the symptoms that you will see. It mimics a cold at first, then mimics a stomach bug, and then it gets worse. You can get this from not washing your hands right, from going near cattle, sheep, any kind of farm animals, sitting on the hay. He was a thumbsucker. He sat on the hay. He took off his shoe. He put his thumb in his mouth. That's the only way they know that he could have gotten it. 17 children got sick from that one state fair. 2 were in the ICU. One of them was my nephew. And my nephew was the one that passed away. The treatment for this is swift treatment. That's the only thing you can do. Dialysis, hydration, blood pressure medicines to keep the blood pressure down. IV antibiotics, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Of course, the kidneys are shutting down. So you want to decrease any proteins going into the body because they can't break them down. may need a blood transfusion. And importantly, because this was not done with my nephew, they need anti-seizure medication so they don't have a seizure that lasts over an hour and makes them brain dead. Warm water and soap is the best thing for this, not hand sanitizer. It does not kill it. I promise you, it does not work. Younger than 5 years old, don't bring them anywhere near these farm animals. Wash their hands good with warm soap, hot water. Do not use just sanitizer. Under 5 years old, their immune system cannot fight this bacteria. I promise you they cannot. This bacteria, this bug that gets into your system called Shigella toxins, is relatively new to all of us. Some of you may have seen it on the news, but you don't think it can happen to you. I'm telling you that it can. My sister is a very clean person. She's a CNA, and she still was affected by this. Her son still got this. Please tell your family members about this. Spread the word. Bring awareness to Shigella and hemolytic uremic syndrome. If you have family members that are going through this, be proactive. Push for more blood cultures. Push for stool specimens. It's going to show up in the stool. Get them on an anti-seizure medication. This is so important, and I hope this doesn't affect any of you and your families, and that's why I wanted to share this for my speech. It is so very important. Thank you so much for letting me share this with you, and have a nice day.